Good day, beautiful people out there. It's another beautiful day. So we are going to look at another beautiful topic, very important topic, called Dhcp configuration. Right, so I'm sure you might have known the full meaning of Dhcp. If you don't, then no problem. Dhcp stands for Dynamic Host Configuration, which is a protocol that is used to automatically or dynamically assign an IP address to an end host and even to networking devices too, if you don't want to assign them statically or manually. Alright, so I'm not into full lecture here, so I'm not going to go into deep explanation. I've already summarized the steps that we are going to take to fully configure a Dhcp. Alright, so the first thing is to reserve some address for your networking devices so that those address will not be assigned to end host. Okay, so the address that will be statically given to your networking devices such as SVI, interfaces on routers and so on, so you should reserve them. Alright, so the commands to do that is here, but I'm not looking into the command now. Let's just summarize the steps first, then I'll show you the commands to do all of them. Then the next step is to create a pool, so a Dhcp pool where the address will be given out to from. Alright, so specify the network, the subnet that will be used, and the network mask. Alright, so you specify that, then specify the default gateway, that is the default gateway that will be used by the end host in case they want to send packets to other network outside their LAN. So you specify the default gateway IP address, then specify the DNS server. In case you configure a DNS server, you can use a local one. In case you don't, you can use a Google DNS server of 8.8.8.8. Since I don't have a DNS server in this LAN, I will use this Google 8.8.8.8 server here. Then specify the list time, so you can specify the list time. List time means in case the owner of that IP is not using it again, it should be released so that it can be given to other hosts. So after that, we will look at the various commands that will be used to achieve that. So let me clarify this. This one is not compulsory. This one is not compulsory. So if you leave this number 1, then no IP will be reserved. If you leave this one, then it will use the default one. Alright, so let's look at the summary of the commands. So to exclude some address, you start with this command, IP Dhcp excluded address. Then the first range, maybe if I want to use 192.168.1.1, then I can use it as the start. Then the second range, 192.168.1.10. Alright, so the address from 192.168.1 to .10 will be reserved, so they will not be given to end host. Then the next step is to create a pool with this command, IP Dhcp pool followed by the pool name. Alright, so you can give it any name. I will be using the name engineering LAN here. Alright, then the next one is to specify the network. The command is just network, then followed by the subnet 192.168.1.0, then followed by the mask 255.255.255.0. Alright, so you can use other masks, but I'll be using .0 here. Then default router to specify the default gateway. When you type this address, default router, then followed by the default gateway address. Example, default router 192.168.1.1. Alright, then DNS server is the command, then followed by the DNS server address. So I can say DNS server 8.8.8.8. Then list time is the command itself, then followed by the day, the hours and minute. I can say list time 1 day. But when typing day 1, you don't specify the day name. I can say list time 111. This 111 means 1 day, 1 hour, 1 minute. So if the IP address, the owner of that address is not using the IP for 1 day, 1 hour, then 1 minute, then it will be released. It will be taken away from the owner of this address, which is the end host. So without wasting time, let me look at other configs here. So verifying the configuration. So the command, some show command that will be used to verify your configurations are show IP Dhcp pool to view the Dhcp pool you have configured. Then show IP Dhcp binding. This one is used to show the binding table So when an IPs are given to end host or to any device at all, it will be recorded in the DHCP binding table. So if you use the show IP DHCP binding, that's where you see the various IP that have been given to end host. Then on the end device like the PC, you use this show IP config, nothing like show IP config. So to verify the current IP address on it on different network cards, such as the Wi-Fi, such as the Ethernet port. So you will use this command to verify various IP address on it. So we are using the Ethernet port. The IP address that will be on this Ethernet port is what we are going to verify. Okay, so without wasting time, let's look at our topology and start the configuration of immediately. All right. So before I configure anything, I will first of all verify the IP address on those laptops and PC if there's any current IP address on the Ethernet port. So I click on then, go to desktop, go to command prompt, then type ipconfig. All right, enter. So this is the Ethernet port, fast Ethernet 0. Current IP address, IPv4, you can see 000, so meaning there's no any IP address on it. Subnet is 000, no IP address on it, default gateway, nothing. So we are going to configure DHCP, and you see that the IP address will be given to it automatically without us configuring any IP address on this laptop. Let me also verify that on one more device before I move further. Okay, desktop, command prompt, ipconfig. You can see they are all 0. So let me not waste time. So let me go to the router here. Go to CLI, no, enable. Before I do the configuration, let me show IP DHCP pool. Show IP DHCP pool. There's no pool, so there's nothing displaying. Show IP DHCP binding. So there's nothing showing because there's no any IP address assigned to any end host. So we will go to configuration mode with conft. So we will do it sequentially according to our plan. But first of all, let me enable that interface connecting to the LAN side, which is interface G00, interface G0/0/0. Sorry, no short. I will statically give it an IP address which will be used as the default gateway. So when we plan our IP, we will use this range of 192.168.1.0 as the network. So then this router will be using .1. So let me say IP address 192.168.1.1, then followed by 255.255.255.0. Okay, no short. Do right. Doing that to save. Okay, sorry, let me close that. Interface is up now. Let's follow our step. The first step is to reserve some IP address. Reserve some IP address with the IP DHCP excluded address. So let's do that. Exit. Configure the IP DHCP excluded address 192.168.1.1. Then the second one is the end. This is the start address. Then the end address is 192.168.1. Let me stop. Since there are no much networking device here, let me end it with 5. All right. Excluded address, I think is rejected. I think there's dash between the excluded and the address. Okay, yeah. There's dash, so I didn't put the dash. It was rejected initially, but I've corrected that. So the next step is to create a pool. IP DHCP pool followed by the name. Let me use question mark. Okay, pool name. All right, engineering LAN. Okay, sorry, let me correct that. I didn't type finish, I mistakenly hit enter. LAN. Okay. So I think this pool will be 2 now because I hit enter when I type only engineering, then I added another one. It will not override it. Suppose I guess there will be 2 pools here. Alright, but when I finish, I will use the show command, show IP DHCP pool. If the second one exists, which we are not needed, I will remove it with the no IP DHCP pool engineering dash command. Alright, so the next step is to sorry, mistake, some information I don't need. The next one is to specify network, right? But let me verify that. The next step is to specify network and the mask. So we are using the 192.168 subnet. So I will say network 192.168.1.0. Then the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. All right. Okay. So after that, default gateway, we use the command default dash router. The default router is the IP address of this router because this is the default router, and at the same time it's serving as the DHCP server. Alright, so the default router is 192.168.1.1. Okay, then DNS server followed by DNS server, DNS-server. Then we are using Google DNS server 8.8.8.8. Okay, DNS stands for domain name system anyway, which is used to translate an IP address to domain name, or from domain name to IP address respectively. Alright, so I entered that. Each other step, I think the next step is list time, right? But let me verify that. Specify the default gateway, specify DNS server. I've done that. So the next one is list time. So the list time is, the command is just list. I'm not going to increase the list time much, so I will use a very short one, 0 day, then after 12 hours, then followed by, let me say 50 minutes. If any of these end hosts, the owner of this laptop or computer, are not using the network for 12 hours 50 minutes, then the IP address should be taken away from it. So whenever I want to use it again, it will send another IP request to the server, and the server will give it any other available one. Okay, so I'll click enter. List, maybe packet tracer doesn't support this, so let me see. Should be list, of course, unrecognized. Okay, packet tracer doesn't support this list time command anyway. So the next thing is to save, do write. Okay, so let's do some show command to verify. Show IP DHCP pool. Okay, so let me see the various. Yeah, I see this first one was the one I mistakenly hit enter when I have not completed the command. I will remove it anyway. Then see the second one, the one we intended doing. Alright, so you can see total address is 254 because the subnet must specify 255.255.255.0. So only the last octet is free for assigning to end host, and out of that last octet, which is 255 in total number, 2 are not usable. One is for 256 in total number, 2 are not usable. One is for broadcast, one is the network address, so 254 is usable. Okay, so that's why I say total address is 254. Okay, any other one? Excluded address is 1. Okay, I think that's the one given to the router interface. Pending events. Okay, let me show the binding. For now, there's no any one given to a host, but when there's no anyone given to the end host for now because we have not configured the end host to use DHCP as their source of IP address. So let me show IP DHCP binding.
Is young Fred the dangerous producer?
There's no one now. You can see no one given to the end host yet, but when I finish changing the IP address configuration on the end host, if I change it to Dhcp, then the IP address will be given to them. All right, so let me first of all correct this thing, this one that we mistakenly enter. Where's the code? This one. Let me remove it from the pool. So let me copy, then let me enter configuration mode again, conft no, I put no, then followed by the one. Oh my god, okay, let me put no in front of it. No DIP DHCP pool, followed by this. Alright, so if I show IP DHCP pool, it will not be there again. Show IP DHCP pool. Oh, I'm in configuration mode, so if I'm to use this command, I'll put do in front of it. Do. You can see. Oh, okay, you can see that one is not there anymore. Only this one is not there. Alright, so let me go and change the configuration setting on the laptop to use DHCP. So go to config, then fast Ethernet 0. IP address is currently on static, so let me use DHCP. Alright, so it has given it one address already, 192.168.6. You know, it's supposed to give it .2, .3, but we excluded some address in the command. We don't want it to give the address we reserve for some network devices, so it starts giving from 6 because we specified the start to be 1 and the end to be 5. Alright, so let me change the other one also. Config fast Ethernet 0 DHCP. Okay, the 7 is given to this one. Config fast Ethernet 0 DHCP. .8 is given to this one. Config fast Ethernet 0 DHCP. .9 is given to this one. Okay, then before I round up, let me also give the SVI of this switch an IP address automatically using DHCP also, but it's not recommended. Normally, network devices should be using static, but I want to prove to you that they can also get IP address using DHCP. So let me enter enable mode, conft interface. I want to use the SVI of the VLAN 1, no short, IP address. So instead of giving it static address here, I will use a DHCP. So let me use question mark to see the option. You can see you can give it statically, and you can also use DHCP. Alright, so let me IP address DHCP. Do right. Okay, you can see DHCP has given it .10. Okay, so let me show IP. Let me exit here and show IP interface brief. Then let's see the SVI. Okay, you can see. So I should be able to ping from here. Ping 192.168.1.1, which is the router. Okay, it's going. .6 was the PC1, the laptop 1. You can see it's going. .7 is going. .8. Okay, .9 is okay. .9 is for one. Is there anyone using .9? Yep. Okay, they are going. All right. So let's the method of verifying the IP address I promised to show you was using this IP config. So on the end host, so let's verify that, because in reality you can't just click DHCP and you begin to see the IP address given to it. Either you use some choke command or you go through some steps to view the IP address. So in reality we use this choke command, IP config. So command prompt, and use the IP config again. IP config is just space. Okay, you can see initially it was 000, but now it is 192.168.6. you can see the default router. So if I do the same here, it will be the same. If I do send show command here, you will see the IP address given to it. So command prompt IP config, you can see now .8. Alright, so let's verify with the ping again. Ping 192.168.1.1, which is the default gateway. You can see it's going. Let me ram downlink ping .6. It's going. Okay, so the last command is to one more time verify the binding table. Let's see the IP addresses that's given or relates to end host. So show, let me exit out of this configuration mode with end. Show IP Dhcp binding, right? Or is there dash? No dash. Okay, binding. Alright, so when we first show it, the table was empty, but you can see various IP addresses that have been given to the various end hosts now. So their MAC address is associated with the IP addresses. So if you want to know which of the end hosts is giving this .6, you have to check the end host MAC address to know which one is using this MAC address. Alright, so alternatively I can view MAC address table here, so I will know which MAC address is this, which MAC address is this. So if I know which MAC address is this, then I can relate them. For you to know that, you can also show the, you see, you can also use that IP config to verify the MAC address here. So the one that ends with 958D, let's see which one is that. 958D. Okay, here this address is the one using this .6. so that's how to do the DHCP configuration. So that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like and share with friends. So thanks a lot for taking your time to watch with me. So always follow us, press the notification bell to always get latest video from